So in this tutorial I'm going to show you how I like to make a seamless granny square. So this is a single colour square, so you don't have any yarn to join or ends to weave in and things like that. So I'm going to show you two ways to start. So the first way is to tie a slip knot, pop that on your hook, chain 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to work this first round into this first chain nearest the slip knot. So all the instructions that I will give you in the next section where I'm working in a magic loop, you will work in this first ring, in the first chain here, and that will become the centre of your granny square. Okay, so the other way you can start it, which is the way I prefer, is by doing a magic loop. So I'm going to pop the tail end over my fingers, wrap it round and cross that over, just hold it over the top of my fingers, and then I'm going to take my hook and pop it underneath the first one, grab the second strand and pull that through, and then just chain 1 just to hold that in place. And then I'm going to chain 2 more. So this is like when we've done our chain 3 in the previous method that I just showed you how to start. But instead of crocheting into the first chain, we're going to go straight into the loop. So this chain counts as a treble, and now we're going to do 2 more trebles. So we're going to yarn over, insert your hook, pull a loop through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. And then we're going to do another treble, so yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. So that counts as our first 3 treble cluster. And now we've got our first corner, and we're simply going to chain 2 for our corner, and then we're going to continue to do 3 trebles in our ring, or if you're working the other method, you're going to do it into that first chain, and then we're going to chain 2 for our second corner, and again 3 trebles, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to chain 2 for our third corner, and 3 more trebles, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, I'm just going to pull the tail tight, close the loop. There we go. And to finish our final corner, we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to join into the top of our chain here. So I'm going to put my hook through, pull the loop through, and pull that straight through to slip stitch. Okay, now I'm going to chain 1, give that a little tighten, chain 2, tighten this one, and chain 3. Okay, and now we're going to do a treble, but instead of working to the left as we normally would, we're going to work in this corner to the right of our chain. So if you yarn over and insert your hook into the space to the right, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, and then yarn over and pull through 2. you'll see what's happened is that this treble has simply pushed the chain over out of the way and hidden the bottom of it, so it just makes it a bit more invisible, so it's a bit more tricky to see where the join of the where the seam is each time. So we've done one treble and now we're going to do another one, again going to the right. Okay, so that counts as our first 3 trebles. Now we're going to move on to our next corner and we're going to do 3 trebles in this next corner, and then we're going to chain 2 and do 3 more trebles in this same corner. So 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so now we're going to work into our next corner, and again we're going to do the same repeat of 3 trebles, chain 2 and 3 trebles, and that will follow the same in every single round of your granny square going forward. The corners will always have 3 trebles, chain 2, 3 trebles. Okay, so we're working in the next corner now. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 3 trebles, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so now we're back to our original corner here. So we're going to finish with 3 trebles in this corner, and then we're going to chain 2, and we're going to look for not the treble, not this treble, but we're looking for the top of our chain here. So we're going to go into this stitch, top of this chain here, pop the hook through, pull the loop through and pull that through to slip stitch to join. Okay, so that's our second round. So now we're going to start again with a chain 3. So we're going to do a chain 1 and we're going to tighten that up, chain 2 and tighten that up, and chain 3. And again we're going to work a treble in the corner to the right. So yarn over, insert your hook to the right, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, and again another treble in that space to the right. Okay, so in this round now, as well as our corners, we've also got these side spaces too. So all we're going to do is 3 trebles in each of these side spaces. So moving on to the next one, 1, 2, 3, and now we're back to our corner. So we're doing our corner repeat, which is 3 trebles, and then we're going to chain 2 and another 3 trebles in the corner. And then our next space is a side space, so we just simply need 3 trebles in the side space. So that's 1, 2 and 3. And now we're back to our corner repeat. 1, 2 and 3, and chain 2 and 3 more trebles, 1, 2 and 3, Now we're through to our next side space, so just carry on until you get back to the beginning with 3 trebles in the side and your 3 treble, chain 2, 3 treble, repeat in the corner. Okay, so I've worked round and I've finished my 3 treble cluster in the final side space. So now I'm back to my starting corner, so I'm just going to do 3 trebles in this one. Okay, and now we're going to chain 2 because it's our corner, and again we're going to join 2, not the top of the treble, not the top of this treble, but we're going to go into the top of the chain there and slip stitch to join. And that's your basic repeat for every future round. So we're going to start with a tight chain 1, tight chain 2, and then a normal for your 3rd chain. We're going to do 2 trebles in the space to the right, and that forms our first cluster. And then in each of these side spaces we're just going to do 3 trebles as a cluster, and then our corner will be 3 treble, chain 2, 3 treble, and you just continue all the way around till you get to your final corner. You'll do your 3 trebles, chain 2, and join to the top of the beginning chain, and it's as simple as that for every future round, and just keep going until you've run out of yarn or your granny square is the size you want. So once your granny square is the size you want, I'm just going to show you how to finish. So I'm back to my original corner, so I'm going to do my 3 trebles. Okay, then I'm going to chain 2. And then I'm going to cut my yarn, leaving however long tail I need for seaming or sewing in ends. And then if you just pull your hook up to pull the loop through, then I'm just going to thread this onto a darning needle. Okay. So now if we look at our original chain 3, then we've got our first treble and our second treble. We're going to insert our needle into the 2 under the 2 loops of this first treble. So we're not going into the chain, we're going to go under the 2 loops of this first treble and pulling that through. We're not pulling it really tight because what we're trying to do is kind of mimic the stitch that would be there. So where the top of the chain is, we're just trying to create an extra stitch on top of that one. So now we're going to go back into the stitch, so the chain where our yarn is coming out, and we're going to go back into there. And then we're going to just neaten this up. We're not pulling it tight because, like I said, we're trying to create a fake stitch on the top there, which mimics the one underneath. Now if you turn it over, because we've literally just attached it to the loops at the top, to secure it we then just need to pop a little stitch into the back of the chain and the stitch next to it, just to secure that in place. And that's your invisible finish there on the top of your granny square. So now all you need to do is weave in the ends and we're all done.